Okay, well, thank you for coming. Today is just marking the kickoff for the Take Me to Worship campaign. My name is Andrea Beer. I am the Community Action Plan Coordinator, which means that I work on the prevention arm of Unified Erie, and this is one of the projects I have had the privilege of working on. We just have a couple of comments. We wanted to just formally kick off this campaign, and so first, I would like to introduce the Director of Administration from the County of Erie, Gary Lee.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I tell you, a beautiful morning. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. First of all, I'd like to thank Andrea and Amy for their diligent work with the initiative Take Me to Worship and Unified Erie. This is just a wonderful, wonderful occasion. You know, I got involved with Unified Erie about 3 years ago, and it was through Andrea who come down to meet with the county executive and myself and to share, and I believe that Jack Denary, our district attorney, was there with us, and we talked about the importance of unifying Erie, and they really shared with us what the plan was, the community action plan. And what I like about the community action plan so much is that it's proactive. We know Unified Erie has 3 components. We talk about the prevention, we talk about enforcement and reentry, but today we're here to talk about the prevention, and we're here to talk about religion matters. There's 3 components to it, and as far as the breakdown when it comes to prevention. 1 is family matters, 2 neighborhoods matter, and 3 religion matters. Many times we hear from, you know, when you talk about government, how to separate things. Well, I can tell you right now, we need to make sure that everyone works together. We need to make sure that we have everyone on the same page when it comes to our youth and doing what's right for our youth. I'm going to share briefly a couple of remarks. You know, I tell people when I go out to speak, first of all, I feel like I have a choir behind me. I have to say that. But I tell people when I go out, my father was a pastor, God rest his soul, and it was really, really important to us as a family that we worked together as a unit, and that we worshiped together, and that we attended church together. The data shows that individuals that go to church and attend some type of religious activity, even 1 hour a week, do better in school. They perform better in school. They get A's and B's. Not only that, they have more structure to their life. They go out, they're more respectful, they're more caring, they're more active and more engaged in the community. So as I travel the region, I try to think, what is the common thread that kind of links all this together when you talk about religion, you talk about faith? I tell you, it's hope. It's hope. When I meet with young men and women, I try to inspire them and try to share with them that where you are today is not going to be where you're going to end up. So you got to have that hope. And that is what this initiative, to Take Me to Worship, is about: hope and building hope among our young men and women. And it's about being proactive. Not being reactive, but proactive. You know, I think about things and, you know, what's going on in this great nation of ours down in Dallas and then over in St. Paul, Minnesota, and down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I think about the serious issues that are facing this great, great nation of ours. But I would say today, and I would say any day, there is only one race, and that's the human race. That's the human race. And I think everyone here will display that and will show that, not only by their words, but by their action. So I would say on today to get engaged, to stay engaged, to really push this initiative, Take Me to Worship, take the children, take the young men and women, let them know that we care, let them know that we have hope. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Next, just for a little bit, someone who has just been so involved in Unified Erie, who has been supportive of all of our efforts, and who often is who we look to when we have an issue with violence. We expect law enforcement to resolve it for us. And it's been an honor to work with someone who has been willing to be open-minded and look at prevention, enforcement, and reentry all working together. And that is Chief Randy Bowers from the Erie City Police. I just love working with him, and he's going to come down and speak.
Thanks very much. Well, Gary, I thought, did a wonderful job explaining the wide umbrella of religiosity and what it's really all about and how important it is. I want to take a few minutes to specifically address young parents, young women with small children. My message is simple. Please find yourself a pastor, find a church, start taking your children to worship. We know the results will be positive. It's proven time and time again, and I really see a need not only in the city but across society, and I'm sure anybody in my age group knows the difference between then and now. When I was a young kid, spent all my time in the city, was in a lot of neighborhoods, and there were always grandparents or mothers to make sure that children got to church. Even if it was one day a week, there was somebody that towed the line and had that religion. And I would encourage again, especially young mothers, because we know we have a lot of single moms raising kids. If you can't find somebody, reach out to any of us in Unified Erie. We'll help connect you with a pastor. Whatever your choice is, please get your children involved with religion. That's it. Thank you.
So we're not going to take a ton of your time telling you everything about the campaign, but the guts of the campaign are that it's based on data. The data says kids who are involved, participating weekly for an hour or more a week in organized religion do better. They're less likely to commit suicide, they're less likely to commit violence, they get better grades, they're less likely to do drugs, they're more likely to come to their parents if they have a problem. The list goes on and on. And way back in 2013, when we didn't know how we were going to address this, and we had a religiosity summit, and a lot of you were there, and we broke into small groups and we said, what are we going to do? This was one of the strategies that came out of the summit in 2013. They said, hey, that data is so compelling, it's so exciting, and we don't know how to share it. Can you help us find a way to share it and get more people to understand that even science is saying what we're doing in our religious institutions matter? We said that's a project we can sink our teeth into. So we have worked over the last year, raising more than $20,000 to do this campaign. We all from private donations. There's no grant money in it, no government money in it. It's all private dollars, where people said this matters enough and we're willing to get it out there. Even though my donation isn't going to promote my specific religion, I understand that promoting this is going to be good for the Erie community. So we're really excited that so many people are getting on board. And it's one of those things where we can say we agree that we may not agree on how we believe about everything, but we can agree that we all have a role to play in making Erie a safer, better place. And that's really what the guts of this comes down to. The campaign starts on Friday. We filmed with Erie kids in Erie. We have had an Erie volunteer marketing team that has just been busting their tails to make this a phenomenal campaign. I'm so proud of all of the volunteers that have worked on this, of the people who donated. It's just honestly broken my heart wide open to be a part of something like this. It has been very, very exciting. We also have a component of this where we are trying to share with religious institutions that there are ideas they could capitalize on with this campaign. And part of that, can I have one of those? Are these happy little lunch boxes. We made them look like kids' Happy Meals. And they have kits of information in them for religious institutions. If a religious institution doesn't have a kit yet, it's not too late. We still have 100 of them in my office. We've distributed more than half, but we still have lots more. Anybody who's missing one can stop by, or we'll try to get it to them if they call. We're really doing our best to saturate Erie and get this to as many religious institutions as we can. Last but not least, we have a place on our website to accept more donations. And if anybody wanted to donate, what that money will go to is to buy signage for religious institutions that says, you can take me to worship here. Here is one of those places. And so if anybody's interested in donating to help different places that might not be able to afford that signage, buy it for their locations so that Erie's blanketed with that message, we are still accepting donations to help individual institutions put signage up to take part in this campaign. We are going to be available. There are lots of people who would give you interviews. Lots of us have helped create. A lot of these people are very, very invested in this campaign and have stepped forward. It is an honor to work with you. Thank you for what you've done, for coming to meetings, for being a part of something 3 years, and to work on something like this. It has been, I am fortunate to get to be the person who speaks about it, but you guys have done so much work. And thank you very much.